Welcome back. This is still New Dawn, and on this segment of the program, we are discussing something very, very important to the economy of the nation. All over the world, it's been said and proven that micro, small, and medium enterprises are the driver of any economy. If MSMEs is not successful, the economy would catch cold. And on this note, that's why we are bringing to you our guest, Remi Ogumefun, Special Advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Industry, Trade and Investments, to talk to us about how to boost the economy through micro, small and medium scale enterprises. Let me set the ball rolling by saying welcome to New Dawn, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And MSMEs, for the sake of definition, okay, what kind of enterprises are in this bracket?
Yeah, within that bracket, you have all the enterprises you can think about. See, the MSMEs are the bedrock of the economy. That is the engine room. That is how the economy grows. So all kinds of businesses are there. The pop and moms business, the small enterprise that you do in the community, and all the small industries, the small scale industries, the micro people, you know, all these micro. When I say micro, those are small, closely knit, maybe family or something, or very, very small. You know, those are the micro enterprises, maybe 1 or 2 people employed. And that is what you find within the economy as a whole. Plenty of them, a lot of them, millions of them, especially where small scale enterprises have really got a good root. And that is what we are trying to do in Nigeria, particularly in Ogun State, to make sure that we have micro enterprises, small scale enterprises, medium enterprises, all over our state. If you go to Abeokuta, you find them there. If you go to Yewa North, you find them there. If you go to Ijebu North, you find them there. All over the state. And these are not just an enterprise that we want to keep our sustenance level. We want to be able to grow them so that they can be sustainable for the state, sustainable for the future of our people. The SMEs generally, the MSMEs, are very, very important. It cannot be ignored. This is where we should keep a lot of attention on, because they're the bedrock of the economy, and the growth of the economy comes from that sector.
All right. In Ogun State, since that's where you play, so to speak, what has the government done to improve MSMEs in Ogun State?
A lot. If you have been following up the economic aspects of Ogun State today, you will have noticed that we're the industrial hub of Nigeria. It's not a political gimmick or anything. We are the real economic hub of Nigeria. And I'm saying that with authority because I know the story. Okay. You also will have noticed in the last 4 to 5 months that we've been talking about it. I've been here also before to talk about MSMEs. And we have been going around the states, around the state, everywhere in the state. We've just come back from the first phase of enrolling our people who are desirous of entrepreneurship. Enrolling them, those who have the flair for it, those who can do well there, and who have ideas. We've been enrolling them. And so far, it's close to, on our database now, we have close to 4,000 people. These are live people. 4,000 people all over our states. Not only one area, it's all over the states that already on our database, who we are all arranging. We're arranging them now for capacity training. Let me explain that briefly. It is not enough for someone to have skill. It's not enough for you to have the desire, okay? You need training, you need capacity training. When I say capacity training, how do you run an enterprise, okay? How do you run an enterprise? How do you make that enterprise a successful one? How do you sustain it over a long period? Those are issues that come up out of a capacity training. It is after that capacity training that you come out, which is going to be anchored by reputable international organizations that we have within our environment here, that you can now say, oh, this gentleman coming before me, or this lady coming before me, is already tooled up to run an enterprise the way it should be run in this modern world. So if the person goes through it, he can now come out. Confidently, the banks will be able to advance that person money, okay? Confidently, the institutions, the financial institutions will support such a person, and then you'll find out that those businesses will now stay on their own, continue to grow because there is mentorship going on. The state doesn't just abandon them, they mentor them, advise them, and work with them over a long period. And then at the end of the day, you find that those businesses are sustainable. And that is the key in today's economy. Those small enterprises must be sustainable. That is when the economy and the people of the state, even wealth creation, when we talk about wealth creation, that's how wealth are created. It's sustainable over a long period. And then before you know it, those small companies that you are seeing today becomes a big company.
Okay. World Bank data shows that SMEs contribute up to 60% of all employment and as much as 40% of the GDP in emerging economies. That's just to accentuate the significance of SMEs. Now, how is the enabling environment, in Ogun State for small business owners?
Yes, if you look at our environment, I've told you before, I said Ogun State is the industrial hub of Nigeria, and even logistics, in terms of logistics also. We're also a hub, very important hub. We have all it takes to be able to grow our SMEs. If you understand what I mean by linkages, you can idly talk of any industry that is not here in Nigeria today. It's here in Ogun State. All the industries you can think about in terms of big time companies, they're all here, they have presence here. The only area you can say is how are these small companies integrated with the small scale enterprises, the ones that we have. You see, the feeder of the big enterprises should actually be the SMEs. I give you a clear example of, let's look at the food and beverage sector, for instance. Let's look at the beverage. Majority of the beverage companies use concentrates, whether it's orange, whether it's pineapple, concentrates within the process. We could have small scale industries, the small scale enterprises that could be producing concentrates, for instance, to be able to feed the bottling companies. Those are who bottle those drinks that we buy. If you have a lot of them doing that, you find out that there's no need for Nigeria as a country to be even importing concentrates, because we have companies that are doing it. Small companies that are doing it. And if you go to other climes, for instance, for clarity's sake, take China. Take China. Most of these things that we see among us here, that we buy, we patronize, you know. I'm just trying to see if there's anything imported here. You will find out that they are produced by small-scale industries in China. Very small-scale industries. This room we are sitting here, maybe some of them are even about 3 or 4 times this room. Yet they are producing things. They are assembling things, for instance. You know, some of them might even be exporting. In fact, they are exporting because they encourage export for all these small-scale industries. And that's what we're trying to do now. That even if you're a small-scale industry in Ogun State here, you should be thinking big. You should be thinking beyond your level, beyond the level you're under today. Can you not export? You can't be exporting, you know. Especially I see some of them, they come around me. Whenever I have some of these meetings, they show me their products. Some of those products, when I look at them, with a bit of more improvement, real packaging, okay, and increased production, these guys can be exporting. They can be exporting to the world, making money in dollars, you know, and their lives are better improved. That's what we call wealth creation. Ability to generate wealth, ability to create wealth. That's what should be happening to our people.
Okay, now, but most times, you know, small business owners complain about this perennial challenge, which is unstable electricity. You know, some also complain about lack of, you know, access, you know, loan facility, you know, for their businesses, you know, to grow, so that they can transition from small business, you know, to, you know, big, you know, business. So in this regard, you know, what are you doing? What is the state government, you know, trying to do? Even though we would say electricity is not directly within the purview, you know, of the state governments.
Yeah, the issue of electricity is a very big issue. Even at our own level, a lot of efforts are being made to ameliorate the problem so that people can actually have power. Okay, and you'll have seen that the state has always been talking about it, especially in terms of alternate power sources. You know, some even have been talking about waste now, waste to power. So many other areas, and greens, you know, green power sources. It's inviting the attention of everyone in Nigeria, also in the world, even today, that the issue of power is a very important issue, especially in terms of ability to produce. So that's a big issue, but it's not something that the state has. It's not inviting the attention of the state in terms of how to get power to our people to be able to at least produce what they do, you know, and have more production going around. The second issue you mentioned is access to finance. That is an issue that is inviting our attention. When I say our, I'm talking about the state attention, access to finance, so that entrepreneurs, like I told you, those small entrepreneurs are the engine of growth, you know, so that they can have access to finance. The state can't give access to, can't give money. It's not a loan organization. In fact, the state is not trained to be a loan organization. It is the financial institutions that we have around that are empowered by law and also by their operations to be able to provide those facilities. But the problem is that the small person on the road, that small entrepreneurs we are talking about, do not have access to those finance. They don't. Many of them don't. And that is why you find the central bank and some other government organizations trying to create some programs so that they can reach them. But it still has a difficulty. So what we are trying to do in Ogun State today is that an entrepreneur that comes forward, that you have looked at, like the business clinics that we have just finished, we've gone around the state for those business clinics to be able to talk to our people, look at those entrepreneurs, look at those who have skills, look at those who have potentials among them, and those that can create to the economy of the state, We've gone around, we've seen them. And I can tell you our people are actually they have skills. Our people have skills and they are interested in making sure that they own an enterprise that is thriving. I saw so many enthusiasms going around because I talked to them on one-on-one, many of them. Give them access and talk to them. What is your problem? Is your problem finance? Is your problem enhancement of your skill? Is your problem access to market? Okay, some of them will sell, will produce, but they don't even know where to sell. What is your problem? Could it be that your problem could be bookkeeping, ability to run and structure your business properly? You need to go to them and be able to understand their problem, increase their capacity, and once their capacity is increased, okay, when I say capacity, their efficiency and their competency to run an enterprise, you will find out that such people will definitely have access to finance. It's easy to get finance. And then the third aspect of it is that the way we are doing it now is working with them. It's like working with them, ensuring that you have mentorship. You get mentorship and you are working with them. So that if you want to go to a bank, for instance, entrepreneur Abeokuta, for instance, let's say it's Abeokuta for a name, who wants to go to a bank after you have done all the mentorship and everything, you have done the capacity building and wants to go to a bank. You don't allow Abeokuta to just walk to the bank. You facilitate it. You know, you facilitate it. He won't tell you he started big. He started small. Gradually, he works his way up onto what it is today. And that is the way many enterprises should actually go through. Even outside our own time, someone like Steve Jobs, the Apple man, he started from the garage of his father. Today, Apple is sold all over the world. His father is richer than even many governments in the world. That is how it should be.
All right. You would agree with me that I haven't spoken about finance as a challenge for MSMEs. You'll agree with me that most of the micro, small enterprises that we have scattered all over the country are operating, but they are not registered. Now, is there any agency of government that any of them can walk to that can help, that can serve as a one-stop shop to help them start up, register, and help them through this process?
Yeah, the issue, I know what you're talking about, formalization of business, okay? Because let's be realistic today. If you're a serious businessman, you must formalize your business. And even in our business clinics around the state, we have been preaching about it, we have been talking about it, that you cannot, under any circumstances, do any successful enterprise without you formalizing it first. You know, if you formalize your business, you make it open. That means your business is open, you can be able to access so many opportunities within the society. And if you have viewers, because I know viewers are looking at us here today, I just want to stress that there is a big advantage from you, if you are listening to me, if you formalize your business. Formalization of business is purely, like I said, it's a technical issue, just a technical issue, nothing, it has nothing to do with your business. It's just that you formalize your business, you have access to finance when you formalize, you have access to market when you formalize, you have access to improvement when you formalize, because people now know who you are. You cannot be doing business and be hiding in your room. You have to come out into the open and run your business the way it is run all over the world. Those you see that have achieved success all over the world, and also in Nigeria, in our own climb here, formalize their business. You need to formalize your business if you are going to be successful. And I want people to be successful, particularly in our state here. I want people to be successful. The governor wants you to be successful. He thinks about it every day, how to make sure that our economy, our people are living very well. So I think it is very, very important that our people, those who are in entrepreneurship, especially the micros, you formalize your business. If you formalize your business, you have a lot of advantage to gain from. And it's not something that is expensive in any way. To formalize a business today, it costs you 10,000 naira. But I know for a micro, that's a lot of money. Some of them may not have the 10,000 naira, yet they have the skill to do the business. And I think that is why that some of us who have experience in this area are trying to say, look, why attach money to formalization? Anybody that wants to register his business, let's do it free of charge. It's good for the economy. It's good for our people.
Yeah. All right, I would like to ask you two questions in one. First of all, the vision of this administration is to provide qualitative governance through a public-private sector partnership. I know. Now you are driving a capacity building for small and medium-scale enterprises. Is there a PPP arrangement that is helping to drive this capacity building? And number two, you spoke earlier about export facilitation of the MSMEs and their products. What is the arrangement by the government in this regard?
First of all, this program that we are running in the state today, the MSME program we are running in the state today, that's the vision of His Excellency. It's the vision of His Excellency. We are only helping the process because that's what we were employed to do. But it's the vision of His Excellency to make sure, like you mentioned just now, that our people are doing very well. You know, our people are doing very well, and they're also creating wealth. They are creating wealth amongst for themselves and also for the state. The issues that I've explained to you generally about access to export, access to market, access to finance is something that we are thinking about every day and every time. And don't also forget that the state as a whole have very skillful people, those who have skills, who understand what enterprise is all about.
Okay.
It's, that's the environment that we have. I think there's a future. There's a future, and you will continue to see it between now, before the end of the year, that new enterprises will be springing up. And the target today is 10,000 enterprises that are doing very, very well.
Okay, I think that's a good place to leave it. Enterprises will be springing up, and a robust target, I would say. So many thanks, Mr. Remy Ogumefu, the SA to the Governor, Special Advisor to the Governor on Industry, Trade and Investment. Thanks for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
So that's the show this morning. Many thanks for watching. Yes, thanks for allowing us to be a part of your morning. New Dawn continues on Friday, yes, with another set of anchors. But tomorrow, the Yoruba version of this program, Ojo, will come your way. I will be back next week, Wednesday. Do have a lovely day. Bye for now.